What's up, Guardians? Peace and Grease here, and it is that time again. The Act 1 Heresy review. Was it good? Was it bad? Well, let's talk a little bit about it. So you know how I roll. I like to start with the good things first. So, first thing, it's great to see the Dreadnought back in Destiny again. Admittedly, I spent a stupid amount of time in the Dreadnought back in D1. I still remember running around the Dreadnought collecting those little things. I think it was part of an exotic mission. If you know, you know. But I can't remember what weapon it was. Anyway, point is, it's like this really weird homecoming, having the Dreadnought back in Destiny 2 again. But I like it, I do. Although I do want to caution Bungie, they need to pump the brakes a little bit on nostalgia bait, because it is a double-edged sword. Yes, it can be an easy win, but at the same time, when you have people clamoring for new content, it can bite you in the ass. So they do need to be very careful with it. Moving on. Overall, the activities on the Dreadnought are fun. I think that they are very fun, and I think they are very engaging. Although, unfortunately, the Nether was bugged, and I think it's still to this day bugged as far as health regen goes, as far as various tactics used to gain health, which is obviously a shame, to say the least. As far as weapons go, there are some really good weapons that you should be grabbing from this episode. For example, if you don't have an area denial grenade launcher, get the Psycho Pump. It is very good, and if you don't have one, these are easy to get. You can get them masterwork like this one. You can get Adepts. It is well worth grabbing if you do not have an area denial GL. So that's one to look out for. Another is the machine gun. The machine gun's actually pretty good as well. The sword is decent. The auto rifle, which I do not have on this character, is kind of a miss for me. And that's just hit scan weapons in general, because it just doesn't feel good to use. And that's one of the things I like about Destiny is the weapon feel in this game. And these hit scan weapons, it feels like you shoot an enemy and then a second later you get the impact. And it's discombobulating. I don't like the feel of it. Now granted, I will admit that if I used it more, I could probably get used to it and like it quite a lot, because I know there are a lot of people out there that like that auto rifle. So it's definitely personal taste. So we'll leave it at that. That leads me to the next point, which is the Nether activity is extremely rewarding. Extremely rewarding. I was surprised after spending a few hours in the Nether. My character's inventory was full and my postmaster was full. I was like, wow, what happened? So it is extremely rewarding, as opposed to last episode, sadly. So that's nice to see. We did get a new exotic quest, as well as a new dungeon, both of which are okay. I don't love them, but I don't hate them. I think that they are just fine, the way that they are. They just didn't blow my socks off, really. Although I will freely admit, I do love all of the secrets on the Dreadnought and in the dungeon. Now we need to kind of move into and talk about the not-so-good qualities of Heresy Act 1. If I were to choose a word to best describe Heresy Act 1, it would be time gate. We have gone from one extreme to another on time gating. We've gone from a little bit of time gating to no time gating. With this episode, everything is time gated. The story obviously is time gated. The class items, weirdly, time gated. Some of the episodic weapons are time gated. Some of the artifact perks are time gated. The exotic mission was time gated. The catalyst for the exotic from the dungeon is time gated. You get the idea. Everything was time gated. And my heart goes out to the writers, because the writers went to the trouble of writing a story only to have it butchered by time gating. And unfortunately, the story is only like 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. And then you're done for a week. And it just doesn't feel good. It's not fun. And it's not memorable. Any pacing or any drama you build up in the story is lost as soon as we hit that brick wall known as time gating. And it just feels like this entire episode, at least for Act 1, I'm bouncing off of one brick wall after another, after another, after another. Oh, the story's time gated? Okay, let me go do this exotic mission. Oh, that's time gated? Okay, let me go get the catalyst from the dungeon. Oh, that's time gated? Okay, let me go get it just brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And let me be clear. I am not opposed to time gating. I think that it can work if, I want to emphasize the word if, you know what you're doing. But Bungie has shown that they don't. In the story, for example, if they were to give us an hour of story each week with unique missions, throw in a really cool cinematic, it would feel amazing. It would feel like I accomplished something. You could build up these characters better, you could build up the drama better, and it would feel like you actually freaking did something. As opposed to now, where I don't feel like I did a damn thing, and I don't remember most of the story. I only remember 2 key points from the entire Act 1 story, which, spoiler alert here, you may want to plug your ears. Eris dies, I guess, or something, and then the Echo of Oryx returns. That's it. You know everything I know about Act 1. Yeah, that's it. That's all there is. It's not memorable. It doesn't feel good. It's not fun. And you don't feel like you accomplished a damn thing. I don't feel like I did anything for the entirety of Act 1 in regards to the story. Add to that the fact that the Sloane's voice dialogue wasn't voiced, which incidentally, on a weird note, our ghost hasn't said a single solitary word. And I don't know why more people haven't commented on it. Maybe it's because they have dialogue turned off. But our ghost has not said a single solitary word throughout the entire Act 1. Not one word. And normally our ghost is a chatty Cathy, so what's the deal? Did the voice actor for our ghost get fired, on hiatus, renegotiating his contract? I don't know. But it is weird that our ghost hasn't said a single solitary word, to say the least. So what else? Something else to comment on. The season pass. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Because unfortunately, it feels like the amount of XP required to level has been increased and they just didn't bother to tell us. Unfortunately, and again, I'm somebody that does raids, dungeons, I do a little PvP, a little bit of trials, a little bit of comp here and there, a little bit of Iron Banner, and I'm only at level 81. Normally by this time, I'm at 100, and I have been at 100 for several weeks before Act 2 comes out. And I'm not even at 100 yet, and we're getting ready to get Act 2. So I'm not sure what the heck is going on. And if you don't know, and I'm sure Bungie would love for people to forget this, but let me fill you in on a little bit of information. A couple years ago, Bungie decided to throttle our XP gains to slow down how fast we level. And of course, they didn't tell us. When they got caught, they didn't admit to it. They didn't apologize for it. They just said they, quote, fixed it. But here's the dirty part. They raised the amount of XP required to level without telling us. Again, something else we had to figure out on our own. I hope that's not what Bungie did here. Because it feels like it takes forever to level. And I'm really hoping Bungie didn't pull that stunt again, because now more than ever, Bungie needs their community at their side. And if they're pulling this kind of stunt again, of raising the amount of XP required to level, or throttling our XP, that's no bueno, man. You're going to lose a lot of players if you pull that stunt again. You're going to lose a lot of players. So I certainly hope that that's not the case. I'm hoping that this is just a bug. Again, I want to give Bungie the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. But there's something strange going on here because, again, I'm normally at 100 for several weeks prior to Act 2, and I'm not even at 82 at this point, even halfway there. So something's going on with this XP. Again, I hope it's a bug, but we'll kind of leave it at that. So with all that being said, I would say episode Heresy, it's okay. Unfortunately, there's a lot of negatives that hold my opinion back of it, whether we're talking about the bugs, whether we're talking about the issues there, whether we're talking about the time gating. There's some good qualities about this episode. It's not like it's all bad, or it's just, there are some unfortunate things and some unfortunate decisions. I get the impression that who's ever in charge at Bungie is telling their developers, just hold on till Frontiers, just hold on a little bit longer. That's all we got to do is make it to Frontiers and everything will be good. I could be wrong, but that's the impression that I get. So, yeah. Hopefully Act 2 gets better. That's all we can really do at this point, is hope Act 2 gets better. Maybe our ghost will start speaking. Maybe Sloane will start speaking in Act 2. Maybe the season pass will start working like it used to as far as XP goes. I don't know. Again, all of these things are going to be a wait to see. There seems to be some promising stuff coming down the pipeline. If you watch the recent stream by Bungie, some really interesting stuff. And on that note, they actually did a kind of a rework of Trials, and that's a big W for Bungie there. I think Trials is really, really good now. It's extremely rewarding. Even if you don't go to the lighthouse, it's extremely rewarding. So it's well worth your time to jump in. Even if you're not good at PvP, grab some loot and get out again. So, but let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And until next time, peace out.